This is Tom, and welcome to Bryn Mawr RC. Today we're going to get back to our Defender 90 Tamiya build, and what we're really going to do is talk about the next steps for the body. So I wanted to present my body build plan, if you will. I've done several of these kits over the years, and the body has always been my least favorite. And over the years, I've realized that that's because I just never ever gave myself enough time. So on this build plan, I'm giving myself a lot of time to do some real fun things with the body. And here, let's go over those. In my bodywork build plan, I have 6 definite things I want to do. Like I said, this is going to take me quite a while. This will be several weeks of work, 5, 6. Maybe as many weeks as it took just to finish the chassis here. But I'm excited about it. It should be fun, and I think I've learned a few things along the way. So let's just go over the body work, the body build plan. First was trimming and sanding. I've actually completed the trimming, and my next step on the body is sanding. In this picture here, we see the full body as it is in the box. And you have to do quite a bit of trimming of the bottom of this Lexan body. And I've always been fairly poor at this. And what I learned this time was to use a very thin Marks-a-Lot, or not Marks-a-Lot, a very thin Sharpie. And with that Sharpie, I slowly traced the cut line around 360 degrees of this body. And in this picture here, you can see my blue Sharpie line of where I'm going to cut. Here is a picture of the trimming complete. And this is the first time I've ever trimmed a Lexan body with proper equipment. Wow, proper equipment, proper tools really helps. I specifically purchased a curved pair of scissors specifically for a Lexan body, and you see those in this picture here. This helped tremendously. The marking and trimming of this body still probably took too long. It took me about an hour, but but without those scissors, it would have taken several hours across several days. So purchasing of those scissors was a very positive in my enjoyment of this hobby. So here we see all the areas trimmed, well, except for a little bit in part here. Actually, I have finished this little bit in part. I guess I skipped it, but I did finish that on the actual body. And in some of these areas, these edges are still pretty sharp. I'm not sure if you can see it very well here, but this edge is fairly sharp. So I'll be going across the entire area, sanding my cut lines, because this Lexan polycarbonate can be quite sharp when you trim it. So the next step after that would be just following the instructions in the book, is to actually create several holes in the body. Believe it or not, there are at least 25 holes that I have to put in the body. Most of these holes are to place on additional body accessories, like mirrors and fenders and bumpers and all that stuff. Well, I don't have a reamer. I don't have a Lexan body reamer, and I've purchased one. I'm waiting for it. This is what that looks like and what's coming. You can see here different size holes, and it's marked on the side as to the size in millimeters of the hole. So I have performed this placing holes into the body with a hobby knife, and it worked, but it wasn't pleasant. I maybe did 4 or 5 holes in the body. I did not want to use just a hobby knife to put in 25 holes into this body. So after my sanding and when this reamer comes in, which should be about another week or two, I'll continue with that step of the body and create the holes. So then at that point, we'll be moving on to painting. And I do plan on capturing all this and showing you all. Up until this time, I've always followed a very regimented way of painting a Lexan body, which is how it's said to do it in the instructions. But I'm going to step out and be a little more creative on this one. The first thing I want to do is actually paint the inside and the outside of the Lexan body. So typically you paint the inside, do a couple of coats, take the protective coating that's on the outside of the body off, and boom, you're done. Well, it looks great, but it looks not scale. It looks phony. It's too bright. It's too perfect. So what I plan on doing is painting the inside of the Lexan body and the outside. So on the inside of the body, I'm going to paint a bright silver color to simulate metal. If this, aluminum body metal, if this was a real car. And then the outside of the body, I'll paint, excuse me. And then the outside of the body, as I showed previously, I'm going to paint that metallic orange. So the concept here is, if when you're using the vehicle, the outside paint gets scuffed or scraped a little bit, what you're going to see underneath is bright silver. So it's going to look like an actual scratch or scrape on a real car. I'm going for that scale reality look. So bright silver in the inside. Outside, most of the body, the lower part of the body, is going to be the metallic orange, and the outside of the roof is just going to be white. So you've seen these where the roof of these Defenders are white and the body color is something else. I'm going to do the same thing, white on the roof and metallic orange on the body. And then, as well, to offset this body a little bit, I'm going to paint the fenders of the body black. And then I'm going to do some weathering or dusting on this model. And again, this is to increase the scale reality of what this body is going to look like. So the weathering and dusting is 4 or 5 steps. So I'm going to mask off the path that the wipers make on the windscreen. And then I'm going to spray the entire outside of the body. And remember, this is after it's already been painted, but with the polycarbonate flat clear, or it's known as PS55. And what this is going to do is going to make things look a little dull. As you can see in the picture here, I found this picture at the Scale Builders Guild, where they did this procedure. And as you can see here, it looks like that windshield is dirty, dusty, grimy, has been used. And so how they did that was spray a Tamiya flat clear, mask this area off first, then spray it, take the mask off, and then they lightly scruff that clean area with a Scotch-Brite pad just to make it look a little aged. So I plan on doing the same thing on the body that we have. That's steps 1 through 3 of weather and dusting. And then steps 4 is once all the accessories are placed on to the body, and in this kit there are lots of accessories, but once all those accessories are placed on and everything is pretty much done on the outside, I'm going to continue this weathering method with weathering, aging, or dusting. And that is use some color that is dirt or brown or dark earth. I haven't purchased this paint yet, but effectively you're hitting the model about 2 feet away with quick bursts of the spray can, and you're hitting areas of the car that typically would get dusty. Again, here's an example from the Scale Builders Guild on their weathering and dusting procedure. And so effectively what you do is just in the real world where dust builds up, you hit that area with your dust color. Again, I haven't purchased that. So you can see in this picture, they've dusted this area up, they've dusted the windshields, the front. What it's doing is just taking that pristine, brand new look of our body and making it look a little older and more realistic. Then, as part of the body build, I want to actually have an interior. A remote control car that doesn't have an interior just absolutely doesn't look scale or realistic at all. So I haven't thought out this far. I'm not sure if I'm going to purchase something or attempt to make the body with styrene. That might be a little more advanced for me at this point, but one or the other I'm going to do is to pop in some sort of some sort of interior into the body. And then I would like to add some sort of scale proper driver. Some driver figure that is properly scaled for a 1/10 scale car. I haven't done any research there. Have a few ideas, but not enough to even really talk about. And then some future work. Again, this may not happen. I want to do, considering some future possible work on the body. And one that really interests me is modifying the body to turn this into a pickup. There we have it. This is the plan for the body build. Again, I'm not sure how many weeks this will take me. 5, 6? I guess you'll know when I know. Thank you so much. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.